Welcome to Carolyn Braden's Turning the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool and beautiful baby room hanging, bedroom hanging, place of business hanging, sun catcher, just a beautiful craft and more. It looks beautiful, beautiful, it looks beautiful, I think it's beautiful. Come on, make your crafts now. Yeah, come on, make your crafts now. Here are the items you need for your project. Some tulle in different shades of pink is what I'm using. This is a steel ring, otherwise known as a macrame hoop, and it is 4 millimeters thick and it's an 8-inch ring. Some iridescent glass beads, wire cutters, floral wire, scissors, and several stalks of artificial flowers. You may also want to get some string so you can hang it up. You'll need some of this 1 millimeter sparkle Stretch Magic jewelry string. You don't have to get the sparkle, but it just adds a little bit more sparkle to your project. The first thing you want to do is pull the flowers off of their stems. Sometimes they easily pull off, but sometimes you'll need those wire trimmers to get them off the stalk. Let's pull off all the flowers. Now we need to get all of these flowers onto the hoop. Here's how you do that. For this part, you'll need some small pieces of floral wire and your hoop and your flowers. I'm going to start by placing the flowers just in an area on the ring and taking the floral wire and wrapping it around the base of the flower and the hoop. I've got one on. I'm going to put another one on. I think I'll do light pink and a dark pink. Light pink and a dark pink. When you are twisting the floral wire, make sure you get it nice and tight. Looks like this. Let's continue to get these flowers on. By working in small sections and with small pieces of wire, it just makes this project a little bit more manageable. I'm having my flowers point in one direction. I might change that up a bit. It really doesn't matter. You just want to get them on there and then secure them with the wire. Because I'm adding tulle to this project, I want to separate these out a little bit, and the floral wire will allow me to kind of spread them out just a little bit so I have a little bit of space and to make sure I have enough flowers to go all around the hoop. So I have the little single pieces of hydrangeas on the ring, very pretty, and I've separated them into 3 sections because I had these 3 pink flowers that I wanted to add on. So I'm going to add one here, and one here. I'm going to put these big sections on the exact same way I put the single sections on. Just find a place and take the wire and wrap it around the stalk. You want to try to make sure you're not taking the wire and pinning any of the blooms down. You want to kind of make sure you're wiggling it through. That way all your blooms are nice, loose, and free. Make sure that wire is nice and tight. If you want to leave the project like this, you can. You can keep adding more blooms and just hang it up in the baby's room just like this. But I want to add some tulle just to make it look a little bit different. Bring out my 2 rolls of tulle. I'm doing 2 shades of pink. I'm going to roll out about 6 to 8 inches of tulle and layer them. Then I'm going to cut them and bring them together to form this kind of tulle ribbon. Then I'm going to find some places on the ring that has some gaps in it where I could put more flowers, but I'm going to put the tulle ribbon instead. And I'm going to tie it around the ring like so. Just go through this little gap spot. See this little gap spot? Put the tulle and tie it. Not only does this add a little bit of something different to your hoop, but it also hides any floral wire you might be able to see. I'm going to continue to cut more pieces of tulle. Don't worry about them being perfectly even, because after you get them on here, you can go back in and trim them, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get some more together into a ribbon, find some blank space, and tie it on. I'm making sure that I'm wiggling it in between the blooms again so I don't flatten those blooms out. I'm tying it once, and I'm going to tie it a second time to form a knot. While you are adding the tulle, you might want to flip it over and see if you see any more pieces of wire hiding. I see some, so I'm going to add a little bit more tulle in some of those areas. I'm going to trim the tulle. You don't have to, you can leave the tulle long, but I just want to trim it because I only want it to stand out just a little bit. Just use your scissors and snip away any tulle that you don't want. Now I've got all my tulle on and I've got it all trimmed. I just kept adding and adding and adding, and I made it really nice and full. And now it's time to hang the crystals. I'm going to take this 1mm Stretch Magic string and cut it into 8 12-inch pieces. So I've measured it out and I've got 2 to start. So let's set this aside. Here's how you string it on. Tie a knot into one end of your Stretch Magic string. Just a little knot. Then we're going to string 3 of these beautiful crystals onto this strand. Just like so. Now that they're strung on, snip off that end beyond the knot. Now we're going to string this onto our wreath or our ring. You just find a place on the ring where you want it. I've got the string hanging down, and tie it in a really tight knot. The really cool thing about this Stretch Magic string is it's very stretchy. The more you stretch it out and get it on there, I'm going to cut that end, and then we're going to allow it to hang from the wreath like so. If you're afraid of your beads falling off, just double knot this knot at the bottom. All of the beautiful crystals are hung. Now it's time to hang the string on the top so we can hang it from the ceiling. Here's how you do this. Cut 4 strands of the string. I'm just using a natural twine to about 24 inches in length. You may not need them quite that long, but we're just going to start with that because you can always trim this later. Now I have this floral wreath sitting here, and it is with the crystal side facing down. Now I'm going to tie these strings onto 4 sides of the ring. We want this to be balanced, so I'm going to hang one here, one directly across from it, and then one here and one directly across from that. We're just going to find little segments in this ring and bring the rope into here and tie it up into a knot. You need this to be even because if it's not, your wreath will hang lopsided. So here's 2. See, it hangs kind of lopsided, so that's why we need the other 2. And get these other 2 on directly across from each other. So now the coolest part of the whole project is here, the grand finale. I've gathered all my strings and hooked it up to make sure that it hangs nice and evenly. I think I'm gonna bring it up just slightly like that because this is going in a baby's nursery, and I think it would be kind of cool if it maybe swung around a little bit. I can lay it down on the table, tie a knot in the top, like so. And ta-da! It's completely done and it looks absolutely gorgeous. You can take your scissors and just even this out a little bit like so. And I would suggest to whoever you're gifting this to have them get a hook that they can hang from the ceiling. That way this can go right into the hook. And this project is complete. I just think that my friend who this is for, it's for her baby's room, will really, really, really like this. It's a little different, it's unique. It can be for a baby's room, it can be for your bedroom, your child's bedroom, anywhere in your house that you want it, and your place of business. I mean, as soon as the sun hits these little crystals, whew, all kinds of rainbows are gonna come out. Thanks for watching Carolyn Braden's Turning the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I can. I got all of the supplies for this project at Hobby Lobby. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. I make all kinds of DIY videos and more. Visit Carolyn'sBloomingCreations.com.